I'm stuck with Markiplier and Call Me Carson.
Don't call Erie, call me Carson. Enjoy things.
Soon enough, people will finally, soon as we get to Umineko, we can finally explain some of the canon jokes we've been making constantly.
Alright. No ifs, ands, or fucks about it.
Don't forget to do the Discord stream.
Yeah, that's the thing I need to remember to do. Here we go.
Also, if I'm being honest, ever since we got out of the fragments, the story's been way more interesting.
Oh yeah, no fucking kidding.
I feel like the fragments actively hindered this fucking episode.
Mm-hmm. It makes the girls go ah. Alrighty then. Everybody's in. Cool. Let me just make sure I got the stream rolling. Oh god.
Ba-da-ba-doo-bop.
Alright. Enough fucking around, let's just get right to the reading. End of chapter 6.
Sex.
I meant what I said.
69.
Sex!
Oh god damn it, my desktop has to be an absolute mess because I have to finish that ODST video or else I can't move anything. Oh no.
He may have been a man, but he also was chicken and waffles.
Hey, don't talk about chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles are delicious.
The Al Sharpton special is always great.
Satoko.
One sec, my phone's doing a weird thing now. Not one thing with tech, but that's a problem with me, it's a fucking another.
Have we tried turning it off and back on?
That's what I'm doing right now, currently.
Die, Rappies.
Please don't commentate about PSO2 while we're streaming.
Please don't talk about PSO while we're doing this.
I was doing it for the funny.
It's not funny. We don't get it.
Oh.
I'll do your funny.
There's a lot of bits that we do that didn't work well.
I don't know, I feel like we got some good bits.
I feel like "we" is a very broad term, Crimson.
Yes,
By the way, I saw those clips. By the way, I saw those clips yesterday when you were playing RE6 and the duck clip.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Bone had a good bit of saying, "Oh yeah, make them smell the feet," and I was like, "No, Bone, don't."
I like that clip a lot.
I'm talking about the one where he was saying it's just like RE4 with the mine carts, and then someone said duck.
Oh yeah, I said duck.
Whatever is going on? Mika, you aren't behaving normally this morning. You think so? Am I acting strange? I don't know how to say it, but you seem much more mature today. Mika's being mature. And you don't tease me today. You too, Satoko. Please don't mess around. Don't feel like it. Out a week, counting from today, huh? Satoko gave me a perplexed look. Maybe she thought I didn't feel well. I want to talk to Keiichi and the others, including Satoko, but I don't know how or where to begin. I like to joke around a lot, so they might not take me seriously. How can I get them to understand the danger I'm in? Good morning to you, Chie-sensei! Oh, you're here as well, Coach! Good morning to you, too!
Good morning, Satoko-chan. Rika-chan. Oh my, oh my. Is that a headband for maids that you're wearing? That's against the school regulations. You will be punished.
Kill him. Dr. Irie! Stop acting like that. It's school!
Is this a school
Ouch.
zone?
Ouch! Rika doesn't seem to be feeling well this morning. Might you check her over, please?
Oh, what's the matter? Did you catch a cold?
Still don't know how to tell my friends, but Irie at least is on our side. Maybe I can talk to him more directly. If I keep thinking about it, I'll still be thinking at the end of the day. Maybe I'll start with him. You nodded as if saying that was a good idea. Satoko! Satoko! Let's play a trick on Keiichi! Let's do something to his chair! Oh! Please, it's a trap, not a trick! I'll teach you how to set a trap for Keiichi-san. Anyu and Satoko ran to the classroom. He must have left on purpose. I have to use this chance she's given me. Rie, can I talk to you in the nurse's office?
Sure, that's fine. Let's go there.
Rie probably thinks I'm going to talk to him about Hinamizawa syndrome, so he agreed to go somewhere people couldn't hear. If there's any change in my physical condition, it could be a sign of something very serious. Even if it's just a simple cold, Irie is very concerned about my health.
What's wrong? Are you feeling sick?
Rie, I'm going to tell you something odd, but I want you to take it seriously. It's a very important matter. Gave Irie the sternest look I'd ever shown him as I spoke. Irie usually acts like an idiot, but he can be an adult when he needs to be. In the expression on my face, Irie started to look more grave himself. How do I start? Okay. Irie. In the Queen Carrier, right?
Yes. The parasite that lives in your body is different from everyone else's.
What happens if I die?
Like I told you before, something terrible will happen. No, to be precise, we believe something terrible will happen. After all, it's impossible to verify until you die. However, several cases involving social brain parasites, similar to those of the Hinamizawa syndrome, have shown that the death of the Queen Carrier can cause mass suicides or riots. That would be Takano-san's area of expertise. Maybe you should ask her instead. I don't know much about it myself.
In other words, Takano knows better than anybody that if I die, something terrible will happen. More than ever, I don't know why Takano wants to kill me. There's no way I can figure it out myself. Rie is here with me right now. Maybe he'll know. I should ask him. Rie? Please don't ask any questions. Just answer. Would there be something to gain from killing me?
What? Kill you, Rika-san? Who would?
Rie, you aren't supposed to ask any questions. Remember?
Sorry. No, I can't think of anything. There isn't anyone who would benefit from your death. I repeat, if something happens to the Queen Carrier, all infected persons will reach the terminal stages within 48 hours. That's what makes the syndrome dangerous. The scale of the disaster will be far greater than any individual case of paranoia or psychosis.
Did anyone profit from that disaster?
No way. Killing you is tantamount to killing all 2,000 villagers. Nobody would consider that for a minute, even as a joke.
If I die, all of the residents of Hinamizawa will go insane and may even kill each other. A perfect ending for people who are descended from demons, huh? Would that be what Takano wants? she always talks about dangerous and bizarre things, it's obvious she enjoys cruelty. She always talks about how she wants to witness with her own eyes the raw brutality of the man-eating demons she read about in the dark history of Onigafuchi village. It's possible that she wants me dead so all the villagers will develop terminal symptoms.
Oh, I'm yawning all night. Of course that's in the worst case. So something happens to you, there's an emergency measure we're supposed to follow.
Emergency measure? I've never heard of anything like that.
I've never told you this before. It's a rather unpleasant measure, so that's why I never mentioned it. Irie Institute's top priority is protecting the Queen Carrier. But if you die and alt infect the person to develop terminal symptoms, you're supposed to go ahead with this contingency plan.
That's understandable. If all 2,000 villagers were to go insane, there would be no guarantee that the devastation would remain within the village. Obviously, it's a good idea to be prepared for the worst-case scenario.
There are these things called emergency manuals. And among them, the worst possible the worst possible disaster. In other words, in the event of your death, is called Emergency Manual 34.
Sorry, I had to take a drink. What happens with that?
Before all the villagers go insane, they'll be exterminated. To be exact, a special unit from the Self-Defense Force will seal off Hinamizawa and kill the villagers using poisonous gas.
I've never heard of that before either.
Oh, fuck. Sorry. I don't really like talking about it.
I've been interested in things that happen before I die, not in things that happen after I'm dead. Disaster only takes place after I die. I had no idea that something like this occurs every single time. Rather, I'm the cause. The enemy is capable of erasing an entire village, then killing a little girl like me won't be a problem at all. Anyu was telling me just talk to everyone. Can I really stand against an opponent like that? Anyway, the existence of this emergency manual changes everything. Takano's motive no longer makes sense. I thought her goal was for all the villagers to go mad and slaughter each other like demons. According to what Irie said, that wouldn't even happen. Villagers will be all killed before it does. I'm not Takano, so I can't be sure, but I don't think that would be fun for her. It doesn't make sense to kill me for that purpose, especially since we've known each other for such a long time. I think it's possible for Takano and the Mountain Dogs to kill me.
Don't be stupid. That's just impossible. Takano-san's #1 priority is to protect you, and one of the Mountain Dog's main duties is to watch over you. That's simply unthinkable.
Rie. Even so, supposing Takano wanted to kill me, can you think of a motive for her doing so?
Oh, fuck. No, I can't. She knows better than anybody about the dangers of the Queen Carrier. Besides, as you're well aware, she's very passionate about our research into the syndrome. Killing you would put an end to that source of her passion.
But, Irie, Hinamizawa syndrome is supposed to be eradicated within 3 years, isn't it? In other words, you're going to destroy the disease. What does Takano think about that?
Well, Hinamizawa syndrome is the target of treatment for me. But for Takano-san, it's research material. Actually, she's strongly against the plan to eradicate it within 3 years. She made a trip to Tokyo to request an indefinite extension of the project from the board of directors. She wasn't successful, though.
Put 2 and 2 together, man! What you're saying is Takano wants to continue her research, but Hinamizawa syndrome is going to be eradicated within 3 years. So Takano is going to lose the subject of her research, isn't she?
I guess you can say that.
I think I can see something here. Irie Institute isn't a small organization. Being managed by a lot of people and receives a great deal of funding. It's the only way they can even research the syndrome. If the Irie Institute is planning to put an end to the research within 3 years, there really isn't much Takano can do about it. If it's all going to end anyway, maybe she wants to shake things up.
No way. Something like that can't possibly happen.
You know how she is, right? She would do it. She would kill me if she wanted to. Don't you think?
No way. No way. Something as horrible as that just isn't possible.
See the writing on the wall, Irie! Like I'm starting to see Takano's motive, but it seems like there must be more. After all, this project will continue for at least 3 additional years. It's possible that during those 3 years, Takano's request will be approved and their research will get an extension. In other words, the research is guaranteed to continue for a minimum of 3 years more. In those 3 years, why is she so desperate now? Besides, I'm always killed in June 1983. Date may change a bit, but the month won't. It must be the result of her strong willpower. It would be one thing if their research was being terminated immediately. She still has 3 years. She's already getting desperate. Motive is too weak. He must be possessed of the strong conviction that it has to be June 1983. After that, no matter how I questioned Irie, he kept repeating that there was no way Takano would kill me. I didn't see how he could be of any more help. However, if I'm able to explain Takano's motive, I think he will be an ally. For now, I think this is all I can do with him. I'm going to talk to Tomitake, too. Tomitake is a lot closer to Tokyo than Irie is. Maybe he can tell me something Irie can't. Hope I can learn some important things from him too, enough to convince him that Takano has a strong enough motive to kill me. Mitake should be visiting Hinamizawa around this time. Spends a lot of time with Takano, but he often walks by himself to enjoy photographing birds too. Try finding him when he's not with Takano and talking to him then. Although Tomitake does have strong feelings towards Takano. Worried he won't listen to me as seriously as Irie did. Thank you very much. Going back to the classroom. If you find out something about Takano, please let me know.
Rika-san! Why do you think Takano-san is trying to kill you? You haven't developed symptoms, have you?
If you're doubting me, would you like to run a test right now? Said some terrible things out of the blue, so I don't blame him for becoming suspicious. However, thanks to the rapid diagnostic test Irie developed at this point, it was easy to prove with a syringe. Just had to submit to the needle to show that I haven't developed terminal symptoms. Results were negative. Of course.
It's just impossible. For Takano-san too. It's just impossible.
Maybe now Irie believes that there's a possibility that Takano is trying to kill me. I left the nurse's office. I hope Irie will grow curious about Takano and try to find out something about her. How was it, Rika? Did you find anything out? Well, yes and no. Hard to say, but there are a couple of interesting things. One is how the Irie Institute is trying to eradicate the syndrome within 3 years. Takano doesn't like the idea. He went to Tokyo to petition for the continuation of her research, but they refused. It might cause her to become desperate. Second is the thing called Emergency Manual 34. Supposedly, if I die, that will be executed, and the whole village will be murdered by poisonous gas. You say that when I die, the villagers will develop terminal symptoms, right? First, I thought that Takano wanted me dead because she wants to see that happen. Since there is such an emergency manual, the village will be long gone before then. That can't be her motive. Every time I ask Irie, all he says is that it isn't possible. According to him, Takano understands the importance of the situation better than anybody. Therefore, she doesn't have any reason to kill me. I know. I've only asked Irie so far. It's possible we can learn more information or wisdom from other people too. Right. Unless we bring everyone's power together, miracle won't occur.
It hurts to do that voice.
Need that miracle to defeat our enemies. Almost lunchtime. That'll be a good chance to talk to everyone. Oh. Problem is whether or not they'll take me seriously when I talk to them. Once I start talking about the secret society Tokyo, they'll obviously ask what manga I'm talking about. I need to figure out a good way to discuss it so I avoid misunderstandings. I think it'll be better to be honest with them, without really thinking too much about it. You really think so? Yes. Let's just try. Put them in the way I'll teach you. I'm sure they'll take you seriously and help out. I'm still not sure, but Hanyu seems very confident. Hanyu has spent her life observing various people. She had never talked to Mion directly before this life, but she knows her better than I do. I talked to everyone during lunchtime in the way that Hanyu taught me.
Sure is interesting. And then? Oh, it's amazing, Rika-chan! How do you come up with things like that?
I know! You're so talented! Work on it a little more. Got with a really great manga! We'll call it Higurashi When They Cry!
How long have you been waiting to bust that one out of the vault?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what to say! I thought maybe something was bothering you because you haven't been looking good since this morning. Why didn't you come to me first? Told you that you could count on them? Count on them, huh? It all comes down to how you put it, I guess.
Old man can create application forms, make rough drafts, ink, tone, draw backgrounds, typeset, and proofread, take manuscripts to printer, publish, distribute, and support. He can do it all. Good thing you came to him.
Oh, sure and great, Mion. Could be a cartoonist, an editor, a publisher, and a bookstore all at once.
Really? Things like that too. He's doing everything yourself in style now?
Oh, I'm curious about what kind of comic Michan could write. I'm curious.
Hold on! Okay. We're all getting sidetracked.
Oh, fuck.
Let's help Rika out, alright?
Told them all about the secrets surrounding Hinamizawa. Skipped a bunch of unnecessary dialogue that we didn't need to read.
So
Told
true.
them that I wanted to write a comic book and that I needed their help to decide on a few things. As spoke to them about this normally, they might question my sanity, but to see things change this dramatically with just a little preface... You're pretty good.
Anyway, so if this queen carrier dies, the village will be destroyed because of some emergency measure. That's the focus, right?
Thank goodness. If there really was something like that, she had better be very careful. Mistake and poof, the whole village could disappear. She just capture a wrapper and bubble wrap and put her in storage or something. It's humane, right? Humane?
But she gets killed, right? If they know her death will create a disaster, why would they kill her? Why?
It's just it. Bad people at the research center know what will happen, yet they're still trying to kill me. I mean, the queen carrier. Yeah, her. This isn't related to me. Just can't think of a good explanation for it. Kind of see an outline of the motive, though. And they actually find a hint without knowing the actual details?
That's so simple! The fact that the entire village gets destroyed if the queen character dies is a motive in and of itself.
Leon laughed as she casually voiced what was on her mind.
Leon! This villain wants to research the disease more, so there's no way she'd put an end to it herself.
That's not a big problem. Just set some masterminds pulling strings behind that villain. Or some villain who's just using that villain.
Villain who wants to use Takano?
Listen good. The queen dies, the village is plunged into chaos, right? To cover it up, a mass execution operation is carried out. Fundamentally, this is a countermeasure against the worst possible outcome, a trump card that must never be played. Because playing it causes a disaster of its own, even if it settles the previous situation.
You're right. In politics, they always talk about who takes responsibility for this and who resigns for that. If, in fact, a mass execution like that were to take place, someone would have to explain that and take responsibility.
Well, it's a secret operation, so I'm sure it won't be made public, but there will be many people questioned within that Tokyo organization, that's for sure. Isn't that a motive for killing the queen carrier?
Huh? Why? Benefits from such chaos.
For plenty of people. Think about it. The wind always blows in one direction, as if we haven't used that metaphor enough in this entire chapter. For some people it's a headwind, and for others it's a tailwind. There are always people who gain and people who lose.
I see. My brain finds this quite stimulating. In other words, if something like that happens, there will be some people who have to take responsibility for it. Their enemies will gain from it, whoever they are.
That's right. There are always different powers and factions within an organization. Especially if it's a huge mastermind corporation like this Tokyo. Sure, many different people there have hidden agendas.
In other words, there are plenty of people who want to rule over others. There are plenty of reasons to assassinate the Queen Carrier.
You're saying Nataka? I mean, even if the bad person doesn't have a reason. There could be people who have reasons to kill the Queen carrier in Tokyo.
There you go, you've got it! So, what about this backstory for the bad person at the secret research center? She wants to keep her research going. It's already been decided it'll end within 3 years, right? Spitballing here. So, this researcher is about to see all her research turn to naught. That means all the fruits of her life's work are about to be ruined and she's under extreme duress. Only that, I think her pride must be hurt too.
That's true. The value of the research this bad person spent half of her life on isn't being acknowledged by the people at the top. And they even told her that it'll be shut down within 3 years.
That must be tough. It's hard when other people deny that which you've worked your whole heart and so hard to accomplish.
God?
Yeah. No. Amazing. Friends really are the best. This is starting to sound like a real motive for Takano.
What does bad person do then?
Of course, the first thing she'd do is to appeal to her bosses. Case in point, probably try to explain to Tokyo how important and valuable her research is. And ask them not to shut it down. But, well, if Tokyo just said, yes, gotta continue with your research, will increase your budget too, then you wouldn't be much of a comic. The bosses at Tokyo are sure to turn her request down, hard and thoroughly. Tell her that her work is a waste of time, that it should be scrapped immediately, or something like that. Wait. I did that, your nose legit started to bleed, dude?
He did say that he tends to randomly bleed.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I feel like this was legit triggered by the cuteness, though.
Was it? Was it really? Or was it just your bleeding?
I simply don't believe you, Mr. Roboot.
Yeah, I've got to go with that
what you want.
The Japanese horny.
But it happened. But hey.
Yeah, just stick a tampon up there, just like she's the man.
Yes, the tampon method.
My nostrils are too small for tampons.
Okay.
Yeah, take that out of context.
Yes, it is.
And now you're caught live, down bad in 4K.
Down bad. Anyway, should we get back to it?
We should get back to it.
Ratio.
So true.
That's gonna be clipped.
Rie told me Takano had gone to Tokyo to request an extension on their research. Also said her request was denied.
Can you imagine her anger at having her life's work mocked by her superiors? There are then only 2 options open to her.
Satoko. What are they?
That's easy. She can cry herself to sleep over it, or she can take revenge.
Ichi and Satoko give each other a high five.
Yeah!
Now, lying down and taking it wouldn't be very interesting either. In case the villainous researcher who loved her research more than anyone starts growing desperate and believing she can at least end it herself rather than letting someone else end it for her. All because of her pride.
That's where the hidden agenda from Tokyo comes in. No! Go away! That idea that someone will gain when the village is thrown into disaster, and then others forced to take responsibility? Exactly! Villainous researcher is depressed after having her life's work rejected. By riling her up the right way, They can cause a tragedy in the village without soiling their own hands. They can take their time investigating and demanding responsibility. Well done.
I already said the line.
Oh, I didn't hear you say C.
That's right. There is more. This villain is depressed after having her life's work rejected, right? Then one of the young leaders plotting to kick another member of Tokyo down and climb the ladder dispatches his own agenda to entice this villain.
She's depressed because her reason for existing was trampled on, right? Someone tells her that he believes in her and such, she'll fall for it easily. The stronger a person's pride is, the easier they fall for that kind of encouragement.
That means the bad person's simply being used by her evil masterminds. Well, this happens a lot in action shows. You know how, like, someone devotes his life to an evil organization, but after one mistake he gets eliminated?
But in this story, the evil researcher has to be eliminated for sure, right? The masterminds, there's no point in letting her stick around.
That's right. This poor person, she thinks she's got an evil little part to play, but at the end her life's work is insulted. She gets used by the masterminds, and after all of that, she gets killed. Well, she's a bad person. People may sympathize with her for what she has to go through. It's almost as if we're explaining the entire point of this in a game and making it completely meta-contextual. It's not like that's real, right?
This is all hypothetical, yeah!
But I guess that's what makes the story interesting. What do you think? Maybe we can use that in the next issue.
You and I could only listen to them talk. They're truly amazing. Or this was churned out within my whole year and was poorly written. Really are. It is very possible, especially if I think about Takano's character. To think of it, Irie kept repeating that isn't possible a whole lot. Which means that those words could be a reflection of how possible it might really be. Sure, my friends can answer that question. I'm going to ask them, so let's ask them.
Why is she so desperate when she still has 3 years left?
That doesn't matter. It really doesn't make a difference if you're gonna getting executed tomorrow or 3 days later, right? Just a matter of the length of her probation. This bad person doesn't feel like she has 3 years left. She feels like she's been sentenced to die in 3 years.
That's just what the masterminds want. They're the ones controlling this bad person. I think it's the masterminds who want to destroy the village at this particular time, not the bad person. This is a huge operation, you know? It has to succeed. Death of the Queen Carrier isn't their only key to success. Whoever's at the top has to decide to go ahead with the emergency measure. Responsibility issue after the operation aside, we have to take care of things like preparation, or rather, they have to figure out the perfect time to do the most damage. After calculating all that, I think they're going to get on with the operation now that the project has only 3 years left.
So in the end, after this bad person gets used, she is eliminated. She's the villain, but I feel sorry for her.
Okay. Let me move on to the most important thing. Defeat them. How can the Queen Carrier girl fight back? She's the main character in my story.
Huh. That sounds interesting. It's the girl they're trying to kill is to run from the evil people, right?
Depends on how you serialize it. You want a long series, coming up with new pursuers and assassins one after another will let you go on for a long time.
a short-term and concentrated series. Perhaps 8 volumes.
It's actually part of...
Burst out laughing at Hanyu's metaphor.
Okay, we just take care of the bad person quickly and shoot for a happy ending. It's more exciting to fight than run.
Swear to God, if they actually do say it has to go in 8 slots, I will lose my mind up in here.
The main character is just an ordinary little girl, right? How can she fight?
Girls nowadays aren't powerless. This is in 1920. She might appear to be a cute, weak girl. She has a secret hidden powers. She's an S-rank hunter with the blood of royalty. Her nickname is the Ebony Fallen Angel.
What?
It's like the lame original character of some middle schooler.
Calling out fucking my immortal on stream!
The fucking gunshot noise! Jesus Christ!
I can't believe Ryukishi took the time to fucking...
S-rank Hunter?
Orange,
Hunter reading confirmed!
Hold on, guys, hold on. Guys, hold on. Okay, Orange, say the line.
Hey, Mion. What's wrong? You have a stomachache or something?
Fine. This old man is just not talented enough.
Neon, you can do it. Though when you read that manga 10 years from now, it may be so bitter you writhe in agony. Oh! Don't know exactly what Mion is trying to say. Anyway, the main character is a weak little girl, and she doesn't have any special weapons. If anything, she's good at acting innocent. So she's mean, and she abuses me with spicy foods. Sounds good. Maybe you want to add? I'll try that starting tonight.
I see. She's just a regular girl, huh? But a story where a character like that beats such a conspiracy is going to be difficult.
No way! No way! It's impossible! Couldn't win without at least gathering a variety of weapons and the skills to operate a radio and a helicopter. Or that, or a professional survivalist who underwent special forces training with the Soviets. Or someone capable of causing confusion in their ranks with just a truck and a few weapons once they're in the jungle.
Jungle?
Is that a Metal Gear joke?
I have the feeling that if Mion and Satoko were the main character's friends, that'd solve the problem right there.
Huh? This old man? Or if he was a character, it'd change the whole story. Fighting techniques and leadership skills are unparalleled. As if the story took place here in this village. Familiarity with the area is top-notch too. Besides, anyone who makes an enemy of Satoko is as good as dead. Alright.
I don't know what kind of secret unit this bad person has. They are nothing compared to my traps. The main character and I barricaded ourselves in the hills. No enemy could lay his fingers on her.
Yeah. She holds up with Satoko in the hills behind us, then her assailants will need either a bombardment capable of crossing the whole thing, or a Hanoi-class level bomber at least. Even if they led with that before entering the mountain, they'd still take on severe casualties. Furthermore, I'd be commanding the operations. Well, her assailants better be prepared for casualties on par with the Iwo Jima landing. Right, Satsuko?
You better bring a nuclear warhead if they want to fight me in the hills. Their asses will be grasses. Satoko would be amazing in the hills, but You sure you can defeat the mountain? Oh, the bad person's helpers? They're professionals, you know.
Surprise attacks and traps are effective against anyone. Vietnam War is a good example. The US Army, the most powerful military in the world, couldn't stand up against the jungle. A multitude of traps set by someone who knows the area well will go a very long way.
You saying Satoko's traps would work on them too?
Of course! Not only that, they'd be very effective. The purpose of traps isn't just to ensnare their victims. Also make people extremely afraid. They are professionals, so they'll be extra careful. Therefore, their commander will become indecisive. They'll have to decide whether to go into the hills or not. That means we gain more time.
Wait, what?
Oh,
what?
Keiji, what are you doing back there?
No!
Oh no!
Found a bug! Found a bug!
Check, oh my god!
Wait, is it intended? Wait, it might be intended. What's the next scene?
Oh no.
So they would need at least a bombardment to capture us. This isn't a war, so they probably won't go that far.
Something behind me.
Yeah,
Keiji,
smells
no,
nice
you're
on you.
Oh no!
Go, Keiji, no, you're still on probation for the last incident.
Kimchi, it's time to stop! It's time to stop! Where the fuck are your parents?
Grab her by the waist,
Where the fuck
hold her up, make it count, just drop her off the Covenant ship.
You're laughing, your fucking cackle killed me, man.
I wasn't ready for Orange to make a Halo Reach reference.
Oh my
Fuck.
god.
Whew,
Okay, take the tick. Okay,
We're
take
gonna
the.
need you down there, Hanyu. Tell them
Okay,
to make it count.
okay. Restart the clock. It is now 0 hours and 0 minutes, and somebody's made a Halo Reach reference.
Look, these jokes aren't reaches, all right?
But they are getting to be that reaching.
Oh my
okay,
God.
Crimson. Anyways, say the line.
I definitely don't think that's possible. Anyway, Mion is a professional when it comes to deciding on tactics. She's saying that Satoko's traps will be more than effective, even against the mountain dogs. That's very reassuring.
Flip side of traps is that they can only be used to defend, and it takes a long time to set them up. Keiichi, why the hell are you still standing behind Hanyu?
I want to make a hold on a second. I'm gonna steal this real quick. I want to make a joke later.
Also, traps don't discriminate. Satoko's hails meet all the requirements, though.
Oh! Oh no!
It's a glitch!
What is going
Oh,
on?
not again!
Oh shit!
This is even worse than Keiichi.
Hold on a second. Oh fuck. Wait a minute.
Oh my god!
Hold on a second. Is she
Maybe
missing
rotate
from
this
this?
save.
Okay, yeah. Here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save real quick. On an opposite one. I'm gonna quit back to the main menu, and I'll see if that fixes. Oh fuck! I quit out the game completely.
Nice.
Fuck. We're gonna
Good thing
see.
you saved.
Yeah, we're gonna see if that bug is still there. Cause oh boy.
Damn it, I was actually gonna say something. That was the perfect
Oh wait,
fucking moment
we
for
can't
a
watch
joke.
that.
I did not
That's
utilize
gonna
it.
get us copyright struck.
If it's a bug, does that mean it's a Higurashi?
Oh god. One of the cicadas. Alright. Load.
Okay.
Okay, fixed.
Hot dog!
That's true. Nobody goes into the hills, and Satoko-chan's traps are already everywhere. The main character can barricade herself in by just going there.
If I'm going to be there, it won't be just a simple barricade. I'm going to use it as a diversion to draw away the enemy's main force and then launch a surprise attack. Drawing the enemy in deep and attacking from behind when their defenses are light is the rudimentary tactic for an ambush and counterattack. Repelling them at the beachhead is the height of hard-headedness.
Michan and Satoko-chan are so cool! But... Michi and I are left out. None of us will be the main characters. I'll fight them off together.
There you go! That's better. Now that we're all in on it, it's like this is the club members versus an evil organization, huh?
Don't know what kind of bad person this is, but I feel sorry for her and her friends. I don't know how powerful they are. Fighting face to face is one thing, but if we use our knowledge of the terrain, they have no chance of winning. If they want to defeat us here in Hinamizawa, they'll need to bring an Overlord-class army to bear. So we'll fight off even that.
Yon laughed and everyone nodded along. Amazing. Starting to think if we did try our best, we can defeat even the mountain dogs. If we fight directly, we'll be taken down immediately, even if we use a surprise attack. If we set traps, and we have enough of them, who knows? Eureka? Friends are very reliable. You're right. Don't know why I never told them anything until now. Even if it's something you can't do alone, you can do it with your friends. Even if only a miracle can make it happen, we all try our hardest. It can be done easily. It's what a miracle is. My heart is pounding. What is this emotion? I feel like nothing is impossible if I work together with them. Anu told me that, in a different world, defeated the worst scenario of all, one where Teppei comes home. Don't remember, but something tells me deep inside, the exact same kind of miracle is about to happen in this world too. Me. Everyone else too. Want a lot more ideas. Can we defeat this conspiracy? Just tell me a lot more.
We got AK-47s.
But what's the fun of bringing a gun to a gunfight when you can go ahead and bring a planted bomb?
I thought you were gonna say when you can bring up friends to a gunfight.
With guns.
Like, what's more powerful than a gun? Friendship.
Destroy every last one of you!
Was Rika still talking?
Yeah, here, I'm gonna take a quick break, so for just a quick second. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves in the meantime.
Man,
that was a hilarious glitch. That wasn't it.
I'm not even sure that was like a...
You know what the worst part about that glitch?
Oh yeah, it would be a bug.
Do what's the worst part about that glitch? It probably would have been in character.
On the iceberg, it does say Keiichi is a pedophile.
Okay, so like framing it as a manga she's writing is pretty smart. Do you think she's just gonna tell them eventually?
Probably has to be.
I don't know, they'll figure it out.
I think they'll either figure it out or she'll like confess it during Watanagashi.
Either they'll remember like Cade. Oh, sorry, AC, I didn't mean to cut you off at the end.
Oh no, I was gonna say I got my point across. It was
my apologies.
No problem.
What was it? I know I know for maybe like how Keiichi remembered everything that happened previously in like episode 6. Maybe this will jog their memory a bit, and then like when shit starts hitting it, they're gonna all start remembering what the fuck happened. At least is my guess.
Possibly could.
Because like Keiichi out of nowhere kind of just started remembering what happened in episode 1. So, like, clearly it shows the ability to remember what happened in previous, like, loops or fragments or whatever the fuck this is now.
She told them in the last episode, right? She just straight up told them, right?
No, Hanyu told Rika about Takano.
No, I mean in the last episode.
Yeah? No, wait, did... I don't remember.
It did.
Because, like, they were fighting the mountain dogs, and they were setting up traps for them.
Well, no, she told them
They
what
didn't
was
set up traps. All they did was actually enlist the mountain dogs to protect.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that Sadako set up traps for the mountain dogs. Like, whenever they were
they were just fighting them.
Nope.
Oh.
Also finding it a bit lazy that they just kind of went ahead and estimated and figured all of that out.
It works enough.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, God, keep in mind, this was this man's first published story.
This is the 8th chapter in it, man. He's had time.
I'm back.
Yeah.
It's
You
me,
can never
John
have enough
Fortnite
time.
Kennedy.
Okay, do this.
Let's continue.
Oh.
I'd only asked for Tomitake. But Irie had come with him. Irie must be bothered by what I told him this morning, but he can't come to a conclusion on his own, so he wants Tomitake to listen to me too. I'm stuck with Markiplier and Call Me Carson.
Don't call Erie, call me Carson. Christ. That's not a great comparison. And, like, Erie gave fucking lobotomies, but still.
Christ.
I'm allowed one a day, folks.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Christ. I'll take lobotomy boy over uses his fans for sex.
Oh, somebody please clip that.
I'm certain that Bone will clip that at some
Call
point.
me Erie.
I'm doing it right now.
Am I wrong about this? But didn't that guy literally just have sex with a 17-year-old when he was 19?
It's that he solicited relationships with based using clout.
It's the grooming problem. It's
Uh-huh.
the grooming problem.
Okay. Like, I mean, I'm not even sure if that's illegal in some places here.
God damn it, Chris.
It is in certain aspects of grooming.
Markiplier is so dead.
Anyways,
Right,
let's get
fair
on
enough.
with the visual novel.
Yeah, the visual
I-
novel that we're reading. Let me close my door real quick. So my parents don't hear fucking atrocities.
After saying he wouldn't interrupt us, Irie sat down a little distance away.
Okay. I heard from Director Irie. Why are you suspicious of Takano-san? She knows better than anyone that your death would cause a disaster. Besides, Takano-san's been good to you and Satoko-chan, right? And to say this about her now, do you think it's a little ungrateful?
Expected this from Tomitake. If I was in the same mood as I was this morning, I probably wouldn't have continued. Having expected this, I'm able to continue without getting upset. Tomitake, please be honest with me. I want you to really think about it too. Of course, Takano wouldn't kill me under normal circumstances. Can you absolutely guarantee that she would never do so?
What do you mean?
Takano has devoted her life to the research of the syndrome. Isn't that true?
Yeah. Just between you and me, she's the most important person at this institution. Director Irie's position is just a formality. And Takano-san is the one who's really leading the research. This is supposed to be secret, but the syndrome was discovered by her grandfather. Takano-san respects him greatly. She opened up the Irie Institute so she could continue and complete his research.
Oh, and you're just revealing all of this to me, a little girl. That's really great of you. So
Look,
how
we
does
have
she
to have the
feel
lore
now?
dump sometime in the story, okay?
Good point. How does she feel now about being told that the project will be shutting down within 3 years? Takano even went to Tokyo and requested an extension, but it was denied, right? Wouldn't you say then that the meaning of her life itself is being denied? Don't you think she's hurt?
Rika-chan, where did you hear all that?
What do you think? Charlie Brown over to your right. Mitake went silent for a moment. Must have realized that I'm not just saying random things.
Yeah. It is true that Takano-san went to see the board of directors. That she was evaluated extremely poorly. According to what I've heard, they really ridiculed her work. She was told that the research project was a waste of money. She'd been acting normally, but she thinks that she was really hurt by it. Yeah.
See? So how can you be so sure that she won't become desperate, thinking that her research is going to be shut down anyway?
No, not Takano-san. That's impossible!
And that's what Charlie Brown said right next to you.
There's no way that can be right!
That's the same thing that Irie said. Saying it was impossible, yet he couldn't deny it completely. Repeated the same phrase over and over to refute that possibility. In fact, even though we know Takano is the enemy, we can only guess at her motive. The only way to find out is to tie her down and make her confess. There is meaning in making Tomitake suspicious of Takano. It's even important to do that so he'll become my ally. Of course, this is also a strategy devised by our club leader.
It's rather a scary thing to imagine, but Takano-san won't gain anything from your death. I can understand her becoming desperate, but she has self-control. Time heals all wounds.
Isn't it easier to deceive the heartbroken?
Deceive? What do you mean?
Tomitake. If I die, something terrible will happen.
It's like the first time he's had like a serious expression on his face. Christ. That was when he was dying the last time. I'm curious. Serious? Oh. Alright.
Emergency manual will be executed and the whole village will be destroyed.
Is that right? I had no idea.
Mitake isn't good at covering his lies. It shows that he's bad at hiding things since he's innately honest. Which makes him a nice person. EA told me already, you can drop the act. Don't want to waste time, so let's be open about this, okay? Emergency manual is a last resort, so if it's actually executed, it'll be a disaster. Right? Mitake seemed to be wondering if he should confirm the existence of the emergency manual. The fact that Irie had already told me about it, combined with me being the Queen Carrier, prompted him to confirm it, albeit hesitantly.
Yeah, it will be a disaster. Time to erase an entire village. We'll have to cross several dangerous bridges. And it's not humane even if it becomes necessary. It will truly be a disaster.
I'll be straight with you. Someone will benefit from that situation.
No way! There can't be! There won't be any gains. It'll develop into a hunt for blame, and in a worst case, the problem might expand past Tokyo and into the government.
In which case, someone who will benefit from that commotion, isn't there? If the emergency manual is executed, there will be someone forced to sign off on it. Afterward, they'll start an investigation into the people who allowed the situation to get to that point. To be specific, those in charge of organizing the Irie Institute. Won't those manipulators be forced to take the blame and be driven out of Tokyo?
I'm not sure.
There's a limited number of posts. People are constantly vying for them. So would it be that strange if there was someone hoping to steal a seat by lighting a fuse on this dangerous bomb we call the emergency manual? Could remain hidden in a safe place and smugly fill the empty seat after everything's blown up. All this is what Mion suggested. She didn't know a thing about Tokyo, yet she struck its core so hard even Tomitake was shaken.
I'm standing perfectly still.
Mion is the greatest commander and strategist our club could ever have. Tomitake folded his arms, starting to lose his cool. I think he realizes that what I'm saying isn't mere nonsense.
It's true that the big shot in Tokyo just passed away. Yet the power vacuum has a political struggle going on over it. Even the Erie Institute's client, the Alphabet Project, has its board of directors purged and reformed. There's been talk of immediately shutting down the research in order to make an example of the Erie Institute, since it was supported by the old faction.
So if I die and the emergency manual is executed, Erie Institute and the board of directors behind it, as well as the faction that supports them, will be held responsible. Normally, the Hinamizawa syndrome and other dangerous bombs associated with it are safe because only Tokyo knows about them. When there's an enemy within Tokyo itself, Hinamizawa becomes a bomb that's all too easy to detonate.
Is that something you made up, Rika-chan?
Is that a fabrication? Or is it the truth?
I don't know. But if I think about what's going on in Tokyo, I guess it is possible for some people to think things like that.
Tomitake, you are a good person. You are a very good person who believes in his close friend. Though I know if I say these things to that Tomitake, he'll never accept them. I have to bring this up with First Lieutenant Tomitake, auditor for the Irie Institute.
You aren't saying... Are you saying that it's Takano-san?
Yes. Request was denied, as was her own life. Not only that, she was denounced by the board of directors, so she's very hurt. You should know that, since you're always with her, Tomitake. Is there any chance that someone seeking to use that heartbroken Takano approached her and instigated her into action? People who are hurt often open their hearts to whoever claims to understand them. Someone like that might have approached Takano to start something that will lead to chaos in Tokyo. Itake insisted that Takano would never do that.
I insisted that Takano-san would never do that.
He repeated it a few more times, but then he fell silent again. Itake is an adult. Must have experienced some heartbreaking events himself. That's why he can understand that Takano is very hurt, and that it's possible that someone is using her.
I understand what you want to say. I should clear some issues first before I can truly trust Takano-san, huh?
Mitake.
I'll get in touch with both Okanogi-kun from the Mountain Dogs and the Tokyo office, see if there have been some suspicious reports regarding Takano-san lately. The Mountain Dog's specialty is counterintelligence, after all.
No. Mountain Dogs are on Takano's side.
What?
This is someone who persuaded Takano. Of course they've taken measures for the Mountain Dogs as well.
That isn't impossible. The Mountain Dogs are a special counterintelligence unit. Even if they were a collaborator in the Irie Institute, really difficult so long as they were attending to their duties. But if the Mountain Dogs themselves were... Can that be... But... no.
Mitake. Please look into both Takano and the Mountain Dogs. DA is on my side, but he doesn't know too much about Tokyo.
That's true. I'm just a researcher. And my position is the formality for their convenience. That's why I can't clear Rika-san's suspicions myself. I understand. I've been told there's a possibility the Irie Institute could become rebellious. That's the reason why I'm here. I'll start investigating Takano-san and the Mountain Dogs right away.
Thank you for believing me. This is the first time you actually have. Been laughed away in many worlds. Tomitake finally listened to me. Will be a very strong ally in the fight against Takano. Also, I'm grateful for my friends who prepared me to talk to him. Got information on the current situation from Irie, had my friends analyze it. Because of that, managed to get Tomitake to listen. Just as Hanyu said, couldn't have done anything if I'd kept thinking about it all alone. After talking to my friends, is it really changing? Actually, I'm going into hiding starting today. Leon's house is a secret basement that's perfect for that smells suspiciously like blood and bones. I haven't talked to Mion about it yet. I think she'll understand my request now. If you find anything, please get in touch with her. Starting today, please act like I've gone missing.
Understood. I think that's safest too. I like I usually do. People don't go suspicious. But I'll be careful, of course. Dr. Irie, please act normal as well. Yup, but always be on your guard. I understand. I'll be very cautious.
Mitake, please be careful yourself. I have a feeling you might be assassinated within a few days. This is the part that he has never taken seriously. Please, for what I'm saying.
Okay. I'll be extra careful. Thank you.
Tomitake turned around all of a sudden. He and I sensed something odd from his behavior and grew tense. Then, heard some footsteps. Been so careless. Somebody overhear us? Takano and her people hear what we were saying? Oh, fuck. We'll never forget that laugh as long as I live.
Hello! What an interesting group. Wait, what, huh? What?
You clipped a bit.
Peeking.
Okay. I went a little too loud, okay. What an interesting group. Dr. Irie, Tomitake-san, and Rika-san. I've been to Hinamizawa quite often, but I've never seen you three together before.
How much do we need to recap?
Oh, hello. Oishi-san. Huh? Is today the meeting day for Watanagashi? It's still so early.
Mia tried to change the subject, but Oishi obviously had heard everything. Mitake from Tokyo is okay, but it's too early for Oishi from the police department to get involved.
I'm going to get involved.
Can you make me a sandwich?
Can you make me a sandwich? No.
No.
He showed me the YouTube poop.
Fresh
They're
pins
really
too, your
complicated.
nastiness.
Does he have to show up now? Anyway, this isn't good.
Well, I went to your house, Hojo-san told me you were here. And I happened to run into your secret meeting. Sorry to bother you, though.
Air froze, leaving only silence.
That's my passive air conditioning. I keep it with me at always.
The way Oishi is speaking makes it obvious that he's trying to sniff things out. Bet he only heard a part of our conversation, so he can't grasp exactly what we were talking about. That's why he's trying to make us confess the whole thing.
Come now, don't look at me like that. I'm getting embarrassed. Well, I brought someone with me today. Someone Rika-san would love to see again. I wonder if you remember Rika-san, because if you don't, he might even start crying.
What? Who? I can only think of one person. Did he ever come here until June 1983? Who else would come visit me?
Come on in.
Oishi encourages a virile,
Virile.
thank you. Virile young man to enter. He looked a lot more mature than the last time I saw him. Kosaka!
Thank you for remembering me, Rika-chan. You won't tell me to go back to Tokyo this time, will you?
Akasaka! Akasaka!
I remember. Now you help me. Or rather, maybe I forgot at some point. But if I forgot about it completely, I would regret it. So I recalled it. You told me to call Yukie because I did as she avoided getting in an accident. You saved her life. And I'm here now out of gratitude. Look, I've forgotten about it for a very long time. But now, I finally remember. Sorry to make you wait for so long.
That's right. Made me wait forever. And now you show up in this final world. You waited until the very last minute. How dare you? Kosaka. Kosaka.
I'm your ally, no matter what. I believe everything you tell me. And I will defeat whoever is trying to kill you.
Kosaka remembered some strange things as he talked to me. Remembered the sad world where he lost his wife working on a kidnapping case in Hinamizawa. Forgot about me because of the despair and only remembered her afterwards. Regretted not being able to do anything for me. Memory from a different world brought Akasaka here. Akasaka calls himself my ally. Means a lot to me since I never thought I'd have any allies at all. Only bury my face in Akasaka's chest and cry.
Why? Why the boy?
Rikashi, why the fuck are you ruining the fucking moment now?
God fucking damn it.
That felt like a gunshot.
Like it wasn't the audience coming in, it's the author coming in and being like, haha, penis.
Boing.
I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything about you having such a young wife.
No!
When your wife's back in Tokyo.
No! No!
Amuro Epstein.
Nope. Don't know a thing.
Yeah, she fucked.
Oishi-san, no. This isn't what you think.
Kosaka. 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 Kosaka.
Corrado Epstein.
Complained that I couldn't defeat Takano alone. You admonished me. Told me that if we put our strength together and all believed in the same thing, we could make a miracle happen. Didn't believe her. After I talked to Irie, my friends, and Tomitake, things were getting better and better. Now Akasaka is here too. Is Akasaka supposed to be coming back? Is this a miracle? Miracles do occur. This man never helped me even once before, yet he might be my most dependable ally. Now he's back, and he's even telling me that he's my ally no matter what. See? It happens. Miracles really do occur.
Dreams do
Right.
come true.
We can make them happen. We keep putting our strength together. Think even more miracles will happen? Then I think we can make a miracle happen and defeat the curse of 1983? Yes. Because we can smash through June of 1983 only by putting everyone's strength together. Hanyu, who used to be just a bystander, is now persuading me. He's admonishing me for pretending to fight while I too was actually just a sulky bystander.
Are you okay, Rika-chan?
Yes. Sorry about that. Seeing you brought back so many memories that I lost my cool. wiped my tears and tried to hide my embarrassment. Higurashi continued to cry.
Title drop.
Your title drop, boys. Higurashi have been trying to remind me of something very important. Felt like they had taught me something important and my eyes grew teary again.
I'm surprised! And then such a wonderful boy. Fuck you, Atomitake! Shut up!
Why is everything gotta be creepy with you?
That's such a wonderful boyfriend!
I will pay you $100 to fucking stop.
He's just over here going,
Man,
oh, you can keep
Man,
that.
Let me
I
introduce
can't believe
myself.
that Tomotaki was
I'm Mamoru
a little
Akasaka.
black book.
I work in Case
Hey,
Records Room 7 of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department's Public Safety Bureau. Security Bureau, fuck. And the Case Record Rooms in Tokyo's Public Safety Bureau, a secret department on par with the CIRO.
What the fuck are they talking about?
I believe it's a tough, secret investigation unit that some have criticized as being secret police.
What department would be foolish enough to slap secret onto the name for the secret division? Still, secret divisions have boring names meant to fool the average person. It's true for Akasaka's department, too. It's called a reference room, but they don't manage documents.
You seem to know quite a lot about us. I don't think there'd be someone who knows the true identity of the Public Safety Department. Judging from the conversation you were having, I take it you have your own reasons for that. Well, I'm into stuff like that. I just happen to know, that's all. Tomitake-san! Why don't you reveal your identity? I, for one, always figured you weren't just some traveling photographer. No, this is the truth. I just like taking pictures, that's all.
A waste of time this conversation is.
So true.
This is the final world, after all. Mitake is the one who's connecting us in Tokyo. Bottom line, bar none. He's my ally just the same.
Oh, I guess I'd have to do Rika-chan! Rika-chan!
Mitake and Irie yelled simultaneously.
We yelled in a round. It works better.
Them, it's an extremely important secret, and if someone to find out, they get eliminated by the mountain dogs. It's okay now. No point in continuing to have suspicions and doubts. Had enough of that. It's already obvious Tomitake isn't telling the truth, but he's trying to deny what I just said terribly. A terrible liar, and he should feel ashamed about it.
You're Director Irie, right? Thank you for taking care of me when I was injured 5 years ago. You really did a great job treating my wounds. Now I remember. No, don't mention it. I only did my job. Irie Clinic is also known as the Irie Institute, right? Well, I mean...
Oh, my dear.
Come now, Dr. Irie. It's no use. We already heard it all earlier. You're saying the Irie Institute's client is the Alphabet Project, right? I don't need to hear it from you. I already know everything. Up until just recently, Room 7 was investigating the man behind it all, and the means for funneling vast sums of money. The Alphabet Project was one of their tunnels. The man behind the slaughter.
Kasaka is holding the top secret document he got his hands on a few days ago. The document records how certain people were given public funds from ministries and government offices for assisting with various projects. These masterminds claim they were attempting to revitalize Japan by using secret money and secret methods, but that was a lie even amongst themselves. Masterminds of these projects were making an enormous profit off of them. If that became public knowledge, Japan would be shaken to the core and the government would be overthrown. That was what they were told, and that was the reason why the investigation was discontinued.
First of all, I want to tell you one thing. The investigation by Room 7 has been shut down. We are no longer working on the case. So I'm simply telling you what I found out in the course of the investigation. I'm on vacation here in Hinamizawa right now. I want you to know that.
Mitake is still trying to hide his identity. Irie isn't. Must have made up his mind since Akasaka already knows about the Alphabet Project.
Are you watching a Legend of Zelda video?
What?
Me?
Yeah, I thought I heard like Link going "ha" really quickly in the background.
Oh, I'm watching this stream in the background on my phone.
Oh, why did it sound like Link? Eh, whatever. We already know that they've been using tunnels to move vast sums of money to a research institute in Shishibone known as the Erie Institute. I fucking flubbed that line. Bleh. We already know that they've been using tunnels to move vast sums of money to a research institute in Shishibone known as the Erie Institute.
Everybody gets one.
Also, the Erie Institute has a different name here in the parentheses. The Erie Clinic. Also listed the head of the Erie Institute is Lieutenant Colonel from the SDF. Kyosuke Irie. A Lieutenant Colonel! Irie, you're in the SDF? No. I'm in the EDF. Very different. I'm not. Tomitake-san, let me tell them. Putting a client aside, we aren't doing anything shady. Let's not hide anything, it'll only make Oichi-san more suspicious.
EDA is right. Oishi will help us. Starting to feel like Oishi even could be our ally. That would be incredible. Take finally gave in and admitted everything in a lot of dialogue that we don't have to go over.
Thank God.
This place, I explained to them the existence of Hinamizawa syndrome, the Irie clinic that was established to research it.
Oh, pardon me, that was right into the mic.
Yeah, it sure was.
Special about myself. Finally, about the invisible conspiracy that revolves around it all. Rishi was very surprised to hear about all this, but Akasaka told him to calm down, so he listened quietly. As Akasaka belongs to a special unit, he wasn't too surprised. He kept nodding, saying that it's all very possible. This is working out great for me.
As you say, Rika-chan, there's a good chance there's some people who were planning something like that. Oishi-san, what they are saying is well within the realm of the possible.
Huh. This feels like the plot of a novel. But if that's true. Akasaka, I have an idea for a book if you want to talk about it later.
Compared to Akasaka, who has a flexible mind, Oishi is having a hard time understanding such unrealistic stories. He'll probably need at least 3 cigarettes before he can digest what he just heard.
I have a crippling addiction.
I think Takano is suspicious.
It's only a problem if I run out.
There's no proof. I was asking Tomitake to investigate so that I can confirm my suspicions.
Oishi-san, can you arrest and detain Takano on a separate charge?
I may lose my retirement money for that, but it could be done, I guess.
There's some counterintelligence members from the Mountain Dogs at the police station. Even if you try, Oishi-san, there'll be pressure from within the department. I'll conduct an investigation on Takano-san. So if possible, can you leave it to me? I don't want anyone to get suspicious. God, every fucking major male voice actor I play is here.
Suffer like Kaneko did.
Oh my god. Suffer like
Now
Kay
you know how I feel, Orange.
Yeah, you're right. Takano's investigation can only be done by Tomitake-san's institution. The police shouldn't bother him. Besides, I think this thing's a lot bigger than we think. Oishi-san, I don't mean to sound rude. Maybe you should stay out of this.
Akasaka-san, what do you mean by that?
Just like you told me earlier. You're retiring this year, remember? You worked hard for many years. You had to collect your pension. Money is important. You need to pay off your house and you need money for life after retirement. But this hill's too dangerous to climb. Menzies are telling me that that at the end of it, this case will be classified. As if it didn't take place at all. In other words,
unless I'm prepared to lose everything, I better put myself out of this, right? That's what you're telling me, isn't it?
Yeah. I know I'm not in a position to tell you that, but I've been involved in cases that are much different from regular police work. What I'm saying now comes from experience.
Oishi was no fool. He was also an adult, and smart in a real sense. If he only listened to his pride, he would yell at Akasaka for insulting him. Akasaka saying is true. Oishi's pension is a big deal for him. People live far beyond their retirement. They still have 10 or even 20 years left after that.
Rude.
Pension is the basis for that second life. Pension isn't ordinary money. It's very, very valuable. People receive their pension for working hard on rainy days and windy days, and even during the moments when their bosses give them a hard time. Even Oishi has mumbled on occasion that he's going to quit and look for a new job. Yet he endured and quietly did the unreasonable work asked of him.
Sorry, that was my phone.
He endured far more work than his salary merited. He's worked like that for a very long time, and now he's finally about to retire. He's finally about to collect his long-awaited pension. It's not about the amount of money itself. It's about having a value placed on what you've done with your life. So if one were to cause a scandal, the punishment for that would be placed on his pension. One such deplorable event can erase Oishi's entire life as a policeman. That's not something that can be treated lightly. Akasaka is still young. And if he loses his job, he'll be able to find a new one. Oishi is too old. The repayment of his mortgage was planned around his pension. Oishi is a grown-up's grown-up, and that's why he can't do anything reckless. Akasaka knows that, and that's why he said Oishi should back down. Oishi understands it too. Oh, Akasaka had to ask him that tough question in order to find out how strong Oishi's commitment was.
I've been awfully slow paying back my loan. Not because I wanted to hold on to some spending money. Even though I would have saved on interest if I just paid a bit more earlier on. I just wanted to gamble and drink. If I lived my life so I didn't have to depend on my pension in my old age, I could jump right onto this case.
Oishi's fists were trembling. That's how he sheds his tears.
But I'm an officer until the moment I retire! No, even that doesn't matter. I promised in front of his grave. I promised that old man that I'd find out who killed him. I promised to stay a police officer until I arrest his murderer. In other words, me being a police officer isn't the issue here. What matters is that I keep my officer's spirit until I find that murderer. Even if I'm fired. But am I afraid to be fired? Am I afraid to lose my pension? Yes, I am! It'll ruin my plans for the future. I need a lot of money for them. My dream is to live a leisurely life in Hokkaido, work on a vegetable garden, have fun in Susukino, and take up ballroom dancing lessons.
What was that last one?
But why am I afraid? Is my officer's spirit so weak as all that? And of uncovering the truth behind the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. The road to that truth I've sought for so long is right here in front of me. Damn it. God damn it! Why can't I just throw away my baggage? Can't I stop caring about what the police think? Damn it. Damn it. God damn it!
But he could say anything in response to Oishi. At a crossroads. Crossroads of a person who has worked so hard and so humbly for so long. How could the young people who know nothing about what he's had to go through say anything at all?
You are a friend of the departed construction site manager, right?
Yes. He was a friend, a brother and a father to me.
Tell him.
Although it's only a formality, I am the director of the Irie Institute. If the conspiracy that surrounds Rika-chan is exposed, I will be the one who takes blame. Isn't that right, Tomitake-san?
Position exists for exactly that purpose. Institute as a whole, Irie is here simply to cover for Takano's research. Taki, of course, knows about that, and even Irie started to realize it. Even if Irie hadn't done anything wrong, he would have to take the blame as the person in charge of the institute. It was how every organization purged itself, forcing someone to take the blame and reshuffling members. That's why leaders get more money.
When it's all over, I will tell you everything about the series of mysterious deaths. I actually have an obligation to remain silent for the rest of my life. But he'll let me tell him. Won't you, Tomitake-san? I didn't hear anything.
As an honest man, Tomitake can't say yes. Pretending to ignore it was the best he could do.
No. That's not right. You can tell the brave Kurado Oishi about it. The one who found the courage to help you. The cowardly Kurado Oishi. The one who didn't want to lose his pension. Doesn't deserve to hear the truth.
He faced a dilemma. Even though the truth behind the mysterious deaths he sought so hard was right in front of him, he couldn't just accept it with his head held high. Understand what he's going through, won't have to live the life he did. The dilemma is very vast and very heavy.
Just like my weight.
Young people couldn't possibly understand.
Can I have some time to think about this? I really do want to find the truth. Put evil behind bars. I just need some time to gather my courage. Could you grant me that?
Is he even asking? Nobody here will force him to make up his mind. Of course, he won't either. However, Oishi needs someone's approval. Oishi is still passionate about his work as a police officer, yet he isn't brave enough to take on the case. I want somebody to forgive him for that, but nobody can do that, and nobody can stop Oishi from crying. Yes. We'll grant you that time. You? How long has she been here? He was arrived. I didn't even see her come in. Then again, she's always around, so... He was the guardian deity of Hinamizawa, after all. Grant you some time to make your decision.
1,000,000 years of Tsukiyomi.
I've been honest. You've been tough on yourself until today. Life is not to be taken lightly, and that's why you are having such a hard time deciding. You should never be proud of careless decisions or brute courage. Careful judgment made by a person who has lived a worthy life, like you, that's what's worth being proud of. She might sound arrogant to us. That was exactly what Oishi needed to hear. Wait. Who among us has the right to admonish Oishi, the eldest one here?
Okay, you guys can go nuts, I said among us.
we will not go.
Hey, don't pay attention to the...
No, we can
Among Us!
We could have kept on going.
Why are you crying?
It's not funny anymore.
Why wouldn't he be crying?
Do it again, I wasn't watching.
No, don't do it again.
No,
He
no.
missed the
Damn it,
opportunity.
Balcony, don't entice them.
Okay, let's continue.
No one. No one should be able to. Nobody but one. One who has been protecting humans for over 1,000 years. On you. No matter if you decide calmly or courageously. We'll praise you. As long as your decision was made well.
I've never met you before, but thank you. That makes me feel better. I'm burping. Thank you for giving me giving a coward like me the time of day.
If it was me, I would have asked Oishi to be my ally and asked him for help. That wouldn't have reached his heart. Wanting help is my selfish request. Don't know anything about the life he lived. That's why my words wouldn't reach him. Hanyu's words did. Hanyu has never told me this. I can tell she's been watching Oishi since the day he was born. She's been watching all that he went through. That's why she can say that. Why what she said could reach him. Only Hanyu can do that.
Dr. Irie, there's only one thing. Please tell me one thing.
Sure. Ask me anything.
I've long suspected that Sonozaki family was pulling the strings in the old man's murder case. Am I right to think that?
No, you are not. You're wrong. We can explain everything about the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa.
I see.
Ueshi pretended to scratch his head. So long he pursued the case without belief, yet someone deeply involved was telling him that he'd missed the mark, so he must feel at least some frustration. Irie said wouldn't be enough. I have to continue. Ueshi. None of the curses of Oyashiro-sama were done in secret by the villagers. The Zaki family, 3 families, and the other villagers, none of them are involved. Were only misunderstandings, misinterpretations, coincidences, tragedies, and comedies. The real identity of the curse of Oyashiro-sama is simply a series of misinterpretations. Only looks like the villagers are acting in secret.
So all the information I've gathered so far about the Sonozaki family is worthless?
Yes!
Yes! Yes, it is!
Your entire work is in vain.
Heads of the Sonozaki family have a secret precept. Must always act as if they command even natural disasters. Sonozaki family knows nothing. Moreover, they're even afraid of the incidents that occur every year. In order to maintain their dignity, they act as though they're the ones behind everything.
God, Oreo is so dumb.
Oh my goodness. I see. It all makes sense now.
It all makes sense now! Are you happy?
If that's true, then that Oreo woman. Damn it. These are some things that mislead me.
Her white gooey center was actually dry all along.
Tell me the truth, aren't you? You're telling me shrimp fry these rice.
Yes, I am. And in the Furude family secret scrolls too. You want to see?
The Dead Sea Scrolls.
I have no idea.
Oh wait, who's talking now?
Jelly, are you hot micing?
Am I?
I kept on hearing like doodle doodle.
Oh yeah, that's my fucking computer. Sorry,
I'll put you in the sin bin.
No.
Seriously, who's talking right now? Because Rika's right there.
Oh.
I think Akasaka's talking?
I'm assuming it's still Rika. Just go for it.
Nobody here can tell what's going through Oishi's mind. But the girl who has watched over human beings for over 1,000 years.
Understand why you're so happy.
What? What do you mean?
Not that you don't have to hate anyone anymore is a very, very welcome concept.
Oh no. The Sonozaki family is still a vile organization with its claws all over Shishibone City. That doesn't change.
Oh damn.
I've been stabbed by one of them before, you know. May not be responsible for the mysterious deaths. They are still my enemies. That's all still true. But I just feel happy.
None of us can tell if what Hanyu is saying is right. Oishi believed that the Sonozaki family was behind it all. Now that he's learned that they're not, I'm sure he feels like everything he stands for has been made meaningless. If Hanyu says that's not the case, hate someone must be such a painful thing. I can't explain Oishi's laughter. All I can do is speculate. Oishi left with a cigarette in his mouth, saying that he wanted to cool off a while.
No one can name it until we know if Takano-san is guilty or not. Don't go back until after we hear the report from Tomitake-san. I don't know why Rika-chan's so suspicious of Takano-san. Personally, I feel bad for her. What she says makes sense, too. Rika-chan's an important person. Let anyone suspicious get near her.
Matake is making it sound like he's going to prove Takano's innocence. Guess I can't blame him since he's in love with her. Probably jumped her bones more than once. Honest, I'm also hoping that Takano isn't guilty. Takano understands me, and she was one of my allies. I had a friendship with her. Trusted her for over 100 years. Hanyu says Takano is guilty. Something pops out when we poke her. The question is how well Tomitake can catch it. To get people to help me, I have to find proof of Takano's guilt. I just have to trust Tomitake for now.
Tomitake-san, please be very careful. If she's guilty, then you'll be in danger too. I understand. Move to a new hotel without letting the Institute know. I'll leave Hinamizawa immediately. But if Takano-san is guilty, that would backfire. That's pretty tough, yeah. The Cardinal ruled to act normally during a secret investigation. Would you prefer to stay with me? No, that's alright. It's fine, I'll be very careful. Rika-chan's safety is the priority here. What should we do?
What should we do? Hanyu, what should we do?
Using Shoki as an example, like an unprotected king. As soon as Takano gets a hold of you, the game is over.
One of the most important rules in Shoki is to guard the king first. Right?
Yes. Today is Thursday. Tanagashi is in 3 days.
What? I thought we had like a week left. What the fuck?
Couple days pass.
Yeah, I think a few days pass.
Need to hide somewhere nobody can find you until at least then.
Any ideas where?
I think you should ask Neon.
It's true. Donozaki family's underground storehouse would be an ideal place to hide. I already said that earlier, but I guess we're gonna retread over this bullshit.
Satoko should go with you too.
If I leave Satoko behind, they'll question her about my whereabouts. He may be in danger too. Means I'll have to tell the truth to at least Satoko and Mion. The comic plot we discussed wasn't just fiction. Well, I always seem to underestimate their reliability. It really is beyond my imagination. I need to talk to them. I have a feeling they'll believe me. My steadfast allies, after all. Going into hiding for a while. The perfect plan in place for that at Mion's house.
Will you really be safe there?
Yes. It's like an air raid shelter. Has everything we need. Can easily stay there for about a month. Sonovaki family's underground storehouse has every basic necessity in case someone actually had to live there due to some complication or another. Jonas mentioned before that it's like a unique vacation house. Don't know how you can call a place with a torture room a vacation house, though.
I don't know how long my investigation of Takano-san will take. As I find something out, I'll call Mion-chan's house. Is that okay?
That works fine.
Tell you the truth. Mountain Dogs have a bug on Rika-chan's home phone for security reasons. That works better either way.
Meep. Somebody has been listening to all of my private conversations.
No. So they can tune in, but that doesn't mean they're listening to every normal conversation. Only do it when they have a security drill. That happens a few times a year. I think my phone at the clinic is being wiretapped too, huh? Well, yes. That's because the purpose of the facility, though. Please understand. Excuse me. How do they actually do that? And then we talked about wiretapping. No!
What did it done?
I thought we weren't going to be talking about wiretapping.
Why?
This
Orange,
episode,
I blame
Power
you.
through,
because
Dad.
you
Power
actively
through.
jinxed
Power through.
this.
Power through.
This episode has been going on for too long.
Come on, guys.
All
Power
right.
through. We can do
Rika-chan's
this.
landline branches off. Or that little shack behind the shrine. The line leads in there. That's where they wiretap it. Usually there's no one there, but once the mound dogs receive orders to guard her, there'll be 2 agents recording conversations in there all the time. Of course, they don't usually record anything. There are security drills scheduled in the near future. Maybe orders to guard her. Security drills take place in January, April, July, and October. No drill this month. Orders to guard her are given only to when they anticipate an emergency. They haven't even given one since the institution was established. Who gives the orders? The rector does, which is me. But Takano-san is a surrogate director, so she can send out orders too. If Takano really is the person who wants to kill Rika-chan, then she'll use the mound dogs to spy on her. That's very possible. In other words, people start going in and out of that shack, and Takano has made her move. We take that as proof the tensions are building around Rika-chan, right? I don't know if that would prove that Takano-san is behind it. We continue to sign the direct that danger is approaching. Indeed. Regardless of whether Takano-san is guilty or not, that's what it means. As long as we keep our eyes on that shack, Rika-chan will stay safe and secure. That's a great idea.
There is one problem, Rika. There are no lights on in the house at night. It'll be obvious to everyone that there's nobody home. Takano doesn't even have to wiretap your phone. As soon as she sees the house, she'll realize you're skipping school and ran away.
Right. That puts Tomitake, who's investigating Takano, in a tight spot. I'll have to think of something to counteract that.
We're dealing with having to observe the wiretapping shack Akasaka was saying earlier. There's the problem with having to keep the lights on at your house. It's also a fact that it's better for Akasaka to stay in the village. I put all 3 together and mixed them up. I get... Oh, I have an idea!
Brain blast.
Oh no. You aren't thinking about letting Akasaka stay at my house, are you? No, absolutely not! The house is such a mess, it smells and it's filthy, I can't let Akasaka stay there, no!
Akasaka's staying over!
It said no! No!
Why making such a fuss, Rika-chan?
Must have been cool there for a moment, ignore what you saw.
Please! It's because Hanyu's insisting. Okay?
What the fuck is going on anymore? It's true that if Rika-chan's house ends up empty, and being lights on at night, and leaving them on would be even more suspicious.
Akasaka? Me. What do you think of staying at my house while I'm gone?
I see. That's a great idea. As long as it's okay with you, Rika-chan, let's do that.
Akasaka seems to think it's a pretty good idea. Am I selfish for wanting him to get a little embarrassed about staying at my house?
Oh god, that felt wrong to say.
Ryukishi, stop.
Of all the sessions my friends decided to watch in on.
No!
You know what?
No! It's time to stop, Ryukishi! No!
Hey, at least I didn't see those earlier sessions, whenever the ones that weren't recorded.
Yeah.
We are not gonna.
Especially at Angel
We aren't
Board.
gonna talk about those.
Yes, we're forever banned from Angel Board for that reason.
What?
What?
Oh, nope, let's continue, let's just power through this.
Ow.
Should be ashamed of myself.
How indeed.
Oh.
Everything is set. Watake is going to get in touch with his colleagues in Tokyo and start an investigation on Takano. That's all. That's all we can do from our end. Rie is going to lead his normal life. Acting normally after something like this will be pretty difficult, but there really isn't anything else for him to do right now.
Takano is sly. She'll never let Irie ruin her plans. Actually, Irie only comes into the picture after Takano's been exposed. She didn't say he would help, but he said he wouldn't interfere with us. In fact, there are some people with ties to the mountain dogs at the police department, too. It's probably best if Oishi acts normally like Irie is. Going to tell Satoko the truth and hide at Mion's house for a while starting today. Don't know how long I'll have to hide. It'll be at least until something happens. Kasaka is going to stay at my house and make it look like I'm homesick. If something happens, coming all the way from Okinomiya would take too long. It's much better to have him stay in the village. Everything will begin only once Tomitake finds out something. EA says he hopes things will get moving soon. I don't think we need to worry about that. We'll try to kill Tomitake on the night of the Wasanagashi, on Sunday, 2 days from today. Has never changed in many, many worlds, so that's definitely their plan. In other words, even if Tomitake doesn't find anything, the wheels will start turning in 2 days. I'd warn Tomitake again to be extremely careful. Still get killed. Curse your family for 7 generations after I die. Already getting dark. Everyone went home except for Akasaka. Still thinking about how to tell Satoko about Akasaka and also about what's to come.
Worrying about it won't solve anything. Have a bad habit of underestimating your friends.
But how can she believe what we talked about at school today is actually real? How can she believe me when I tell her that her life is in danger? In addition, I'm bringing home this guy she's never met before.
Think Satoko will believe you?
I don't know, but it's possible that she won't.
Oh. Satoko isn't your friend, is she?
What? What Hanyu just said startled me. It was kind of a scary thing to hear, even though she said it while wearing her usual warm smile.
No, Satoko is one of us. I think she will believe you and become your ally against Takano. You're saying you can't trust her. It's like saying Satoko isn't your friend. She isn't even your friend. Then why waste time telling her about it? All along? Let's just leave Satoko behind and go to Mion's house by ourselves. The 2 of us.
What are you saying? It's nonsense. Satoko is my best friend and...
You don't think it's worth telling her the truth, then that's it. Just think a best friend is like a stray cat that you feed every day. I'm actually surprised to learn that you've been letting Satoko live with you when you think of her like that.
I didn't say that! Satoko is my best friend. My very best. She's even closer to me than you are.
You don't believe she will believe. It's the same as spouting your complaints to stray cat that you feed every day. You know the cat can't do anything, and knowing that you still complain to her and that's all your relationship is. Satoko believes you're her best friend, but you don't feel the same way.
Damn you! I tried to slap Hanyu, but I couldn't touch her. My hand went through her cheek and hit only the air. Can't believe she made herself incorporeal again. He disappeared, saying "oh" in a teasing manner. I'm upset. I can totally understand what she was getting at.
Will your roommate agree?
Make her agree. Tako has nothing to do with this conspiracy, but since she lives with me, she's going to end up involved anyway. For Satoko's sake, I have to explain this to her.
Should I wait outside?
Now, I think it'll be better to have you with us so she doesn't think it's a joke. If I can't explain it properly, can you help?
Sure, I will.
Went up to the second floor with Akasaka. Honest, I couldn't even imagine how to start bringing it up. Even Hanyu made fun of me. Can't hesitate. Made up my mind and walked into the room. Was surprised. The messy room is all cleaned up. Satoko is packing her pajamas and towels into her duffel bag. It's as if she's going on a camping trip. Satoko? I'm home.
I got your luggage ready too. Can't just borrow toothbrushes and towels from Mion-san, you know. Besides, we can't let some strange man stay in a messy room either. This is why I always tell you to tidy your things up around here.
Blinked in surprise. I don't understand why Satoko already knows what's going on. She saw me, Irie, and Tomitake talking behind the shrine with Oishi and a strange man, she'd be sure to get curious. Satoko must have overheard our conversation. Not only that, she packed our luggage and cleaned our room, which means she already knows Akasaka is going to stay in this house. She must have come home in a hurry to get things done.
It wasn't just some storyline for some comic, was it?
Meep.
No, that's what I don't like about Eureka. Have I ever doubted you before? Always thought that I was your best friend, that you would count on me before anyone else.
I am sorry. Satoko doesn't seem that angry. Rather, she seems shocked that what we talked about at school is real. She isn't really that upset. But this is exactly what Hanyu said. Thought Satoko was my best friend, yet I couldn't trust her completely. Having realized this, I apologized. Satoko turned around as if to tell me there's no time for apologies. I think she accepted it. The proof of that, she's getting things ready to go to Mion's house. Thank you, Satoko.
Akasaka-san, is it? I don't know how you and Rika know each other, but if you're Rika's ally, then you're mine too. You may call me Satoko Hojo.
Nice to meet you. I'm Akasaka. The conspiracy surrounding Rika-chan runs pretty deep. Not easy to explain. She was afraid to reject her after she confessed to everyone. So please try to understand how she felt too.
Of course I understand. I'm Rika's best friend, you know. She was thinking that I didn't believe her. Who would? I can understand why she'd be afraid.
You're really mature, Satoko-chan. Rika-chan's lucky to have you as her best friend. I'm pretty envious of her.
Satoko took Akasaka around the house and explained everything. Left him know that the switch for the hot water heater sticks a little and that if the picture on the TV gets messed up, he needs to tap on it. Even told him about all the traps she set around the shrine using a secret map of hers. Akasaka listened to her dead seriously. Upon seeing them talk, I couldn't help but smile. Hanyu also smiled while watching us. It felt like she was saying, "I told you so." I'm going to pretend that I don't notice her. If our contrarian Satoko believed me this easily, then our simple-minded Mion will believe us even more easily. Eiji doesn't even know how to doubt people, and Rena has sharp instincts, so she'll believe me too. So everyone is going to believe me, huh? You didn't reply, but she smiled as if she's happy to see that I grew a little.
Alright, there are plenty of things in the refrigerator. Rika. You're asking him to house sit. Why don't you make dinner for him tonight? Besides, just to be safe. Perhaps we should go over to Mion-san's house a little later.
Oh, don't worry. I can handle that myself.
a chance to serve him your homey food, Rika.
You really are annoying today. Right, Satoko, we have to make something good, huh? I have an idea. Can you bring out the large kimchi bottle from the refrigerator? No, not that one. The one that says death penalty, not the one that says punishment. Let's make kimchi fried rice today. Sokka, do you like spicy food?
Oh, yeah. I love spicy things.
Cream puffs in the refrigerator have expired, so let's throw them away. Ah, what a waste. I heard they're from a famous shop over in Gogura. Our owls are awfully loud today. Maybe a stray dog's howling somewhere. Night is falling on the 16th of June. Pieces are lining up on the final game board, one after another. No. Pieces isn't the right word to call them. Night is falling on the 16th of June. Gaining reliable allies for this final challenge. First key Tomitaki will be killed in 3 days. It is going to change before that point.
Sweet fucking this chapter took a fucking minute.
So are we going to end it there, or are we going to go to 1 since it's Saturday?
Can I?
No.
Do you guys actually want to keep going?
I'll leave it up to you.
If anyone else is up to. I'm okay with doing that if everyone else can.
I'm fine with that.
It sounds like you're dying right now, Orange. Are you gonna end it there?
I guess we could keep going, but I don't know.
Sound like you're dying.
I mean,
we can see those other achievements.
If you don't have high energy,
there's only 3 more chapters.
And Orange, they're really fucking long. Because
part of me wants to move to something else, but I don't know.
Yeah. If you're not feeling it, then we should probably move on. I would rather do this at high energy.
Well, here, let's see what's gonna happen next, I guess. Just,
actually,
Oh, here. Look, I'll start it up and see what happens.
Alright.
There might be. Oh, wait.
Shit goes crazy. Shit goes crazy. We're starting with Keiichi.
No, we're starting with Rena.
Oh, what?
Now we're starting with Mion.
Nope, we're just going through the
No,
motions.
She learned how to fucking fast forward shit.
break down.
George Lucas.
Me.
Oh, for fuck's sake! No, keep going.
Frank, shut up. Let's keep going.
Sorry.
How are we going?
Uday-san and Hojo-san are absent today because they both have colds. The weather is changing, so it's easy to get sick. Make sure you cover yourselves when you go to sleep.
I got on mute. Sorry.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
You don't tell me what to do, bitch.
Mom.
Shut up, Jimmy.
Okay.
Aww, live together, so I guess they caught it together. Kachan is supposed to perform as a shrine maiden on the day of Watanagashi. I hope she'll be okay, I hope.
We're planning to have lots of fun at the festival. Maybe they recover by tomorrow somehow. Hey, do you want to go see them on our way home? Maybe we can bring something healthy for them to eat too.
We don't need to. By the way, can you two stop by this old man's house today?
You saying it, Keiichi saying it, dog.
I'm gonna assume it's Keiichi. Man usually enjoys ideas like bringing people food when they're sick. For whatever reason, she was a little curt today. Actually, she's been acting a little different since this morning. Even when I talked to her, her thoughts seem somewhere else. Now she's asking Rena and me to stop by her house.
Your house, Michan? What for?
Well, I need to talk to you about something important. Can't tell you right now, though.
Man seemed calmer than normal.
Tell me that was about something very serious. I'm gonna assume it's Irie, yeah. There are always a lot of patients running around to the clinic just before lunchtime. Because of that, lunchtime at the clinic is always later than the normal people's. It's a short break, though. Our afternoon shifts begin right away. The staff are enjoying their break, eating their delivery lunches. They can eat basically anywhere they want, as long as the patients can't see them. It's not a place we need to keep sterile. If it's hot and humid, the meeting room is where the air conditioner ends up being a popular place. The staff all eat their takeout lunches there. As for them, the director of this clinic, they might feel uncomfortable eating with me around. I'm so lonely. Oh. So I usually eat my lunch in the director's office out of consideration for them. I ordered lunch from a soba shop. I got an extra large. An extra large serving of mori soba, that is. For whatever reason, they just call the dish an extra large. The next ordering is complicated, since if I order an extra large and a kitsune udon, they'll just deliver an extra large kitsune udon instead.
It's a fucking Royale with cheese conversation?
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, 2 number 34s.
Oh, cheese.
45s.
2 number 45.
I'm making a joke about the game. Number 34. Number 34 again. Yeah. Is it really a large? Looks like a regular size to me. As I recall, the owner of the restaurant has hurt her hip. Was he having them a hard time keeping things running? I was still thinking about that when Takano-san came in. Carrying a really large size order in her hands. She ordered a regular morisoba and I grabbed the wrong one by mistake. Ah, what a hassle.
It's easy to confuse them, isn't it? They should use some kind of mark, you know?
I agree. For example, they can put a flag like the one on a kid's meal that says large size. Takano-san must have loved that idea. She laughed like that for a while. Would you like to join me? I invite her to sit on the sofa.
Are you sure? Thank you. But could you turn the air conditioning down just a little?
Sure. Sorry about that. Here we go. Come to think of it, I really haven't talked too much with her either. Rather distant from each other. Partially over the guilt of the organization becoming the Irie Institute. So with that and our respective positions, we had a tacit agreement not to pry too deeply into each other. His attitudes towards our research are different. We've never mingled before. So chatting over lunch is a good way to get closer to her. I wonder what she likes to talk about while eating. I bet it's murder. I just had a peaceful conversation. I don't want her to go off about something like tapeworms. We're having lunch after all. And when I tried to come up with a topic, she started talking instead.
Flag on a kid's meal. That brings back memories. Do you think they'll still have those flags, though?
I don't know. It's one of those things that endure. Also, they will keep having flags on kids' meals even in the far future. Even an in-flight kids' meal on spaceships have a flag on it.
Sorry, that was my phone. That sounds interesting. Wonder if kids will collect those flags even in the future.
Flags? Did you collect them?
Oh, didn't you do that when you were a kid? Collect the flags from kids' meals.
Oh. No way. When I was young, only rich kids could have meals like that. Oh, fucking hold on a second. My family couldn't afford it.
That's not true. My family's poor, but when we went to the mall, we had our lunch at a restaurant there. The time for me to go to a mall meant having a kid's meal. So whenever my parents went to the mall without me, I'd get very upset.
Your child sounds very happy.
But when they went to the mall without me one day, they got in an accident and died. Until I got a call about it, I was really upset with my parents for going to the mall without me. I was sure they were having a meal there by themselves. As it happened, I only needed one more flag to make my collection complete. Collecting 20 of them was my goal. I was so upset that I couldn't complete my collection. Awful, huh?
It must have been horrible to lose her parents at an age where she was still interested in collecting flags from kids' meals. It's obviously still a painful memory for her. I see. I didn't know. By the way, is that how you became a doctor?
Huh? Why?
Oh, well. I didn't become a doctor because of my reasons involving my family. But the same was true for you, too.
I earned my medical license because it was necessary to draw closer to the Hinamizawa syndrome. It might be rude to put it this way, but I only obtained my license as a byproduct of pursuing my research.
How interesting. Even when she was still in medical school, she already knew about Hinamizawa syndrome. By the way, before I took on this job, I didn't know anything about the syndrome. Where did you find out about it? I was told you read something about it when you were looking into the late Dr. Takano's documents. I'm impressed that you already started to research it while you were at school. Studying took up all of my time when I was a student. That's really incredible.
Actually, I became familiar with Hinamizawa syndrome long before that.
What does she mean? What did she mean by this? How old was she when she first found out about the syndrome? In fact, why did she become familiar with it at all?
Just like Satoko-chan and Rika-chan, I didn't have any relatives. So I was sent to an orphanage. It was a horrifying place. Remember how there was a flood of war orphans back then? I was in a truly awful orphanage built solely to gather up those children and bring in government subsidies. I escaped from there. I was rescued by my grandfather, Dr. Takano.
So you actually live with Dr. Takano? I see. Now I understand why you're so familiar with his research documents at a young age. But why do you keep it a secret?
Well, political reasons. It's one thing to request funding for research on a mysterious disease, but it's another thing to request it for a research project of my late grandpa's.
I see. Finally, a question is answered. The admiration you've shown when discussing Dr. Takano is always more than just respect for a fellow researcher. Still, since you respect him that much, he must have been a wonderful doctor with many genius virtues. Such as mass murder, for one.
Don't know about genuine virtues.
Oh, fuck, I meant to say genuine.
Died alone of an illness with nobody around to understand him. Preferred being alone, which was a bad habit of his. That's why he couldn't find anyone who would support him.
Still, he had you for an excellent assistant, didn't he? Speaking of which, your family name is read the same way as his, isn't it?
Yes. It's not my real family name. Took my grandfather as a note of respect. Actually wanted to write it the same way, but I thought it would get complicated when explaining it to my client. So I ended up using different characters.
Now I can see the connection between the two last names. Those were the connection between first names, Hifumi and Mio, too. Didn't they tell me anything more than that, thank God? She lost her parents when she was young, and Dr. Takano took her in, and loved her as if she was his own child. To show her love and respect, she decided to call him her grandfather. Now I know. And knowing is half the battle. That's the reason why she devoted herself to researching Hinamizawa syndrome. I now understand how she must feel, knowing her research is soon to be terminated. Terminated. Rika-chan had said that she was still hurt. Didn't know anything about it, I must have said something that hurt her before. I only cared about treatment and extermination. Didn't care about anything else until today. I was considered that blasphemous towards her grandfather. I don't know why she became aggressive every time I expressed how I felt. After she was told that her research would be terminated, she stayed up all night and gathered up lots of documents. Went to Tokyo and requested an extension without depending on anybody else. That request was rejected. The documents she used are now in a box and in underground storage. I must have exerted a lot of effort to put them together. Even someone without any knowledge of our research can easily understand what she was trying to say. However, it looked like some of those documents weren't even opened. She had some marks to say that they weren't even treated the way documents are supposed to be. I'm sure some pages have absorbed her tears without me even knowing. And in Tokyo, that Takano-san left a terrible impression with the board of directors. It's not easy to overturn a bad impression. In other words, she can never request an extension on her research ever again. I was there when she found out about it. Oh, I was there when she found she could no longer continue her grandfather's research, even though she must have promised him that she would complete it. Are you going to continue researching this, your own, after the Irie Institute shuts down?
By the time the Irie Institute closes, the Hinamizawa syndrome will have been eradicated. Should I preserve the pathogen in a petri dish, kidnap someone, and infect them to research it? On my own? Without equipment, funding, or a lab? But I continued the research, holed up in a study filled with the smell of formalin and never recognized or acknowledged by anyone, just like my grandfather. Also someone else can ridicule it. What would you have a loser like me, who lacks the youth and energy anymore, to continue it?
Tomitake-san once told me that the Irie Institute was supposed to be the Takano Institute. But our clients didn't like the idea of a young woman heading into the facility. That's why I wasn't invited. I suppose she's been unfriendly since the day that we met. It must have been blasphemy to her to see me go on about Hinamizawa syndrome, setting a research plan according to my own values and morals. Takano, the syndrome, is her grandfather. I must feel his presence when she's researching it. That's the reason why she often says the Institute until late at night. That means that makes the mountain dogs annoyed, as they serve as security here.
Would you like to drink some of the soba broth?
Ah, yes. Yes, please. Your shoulders look fragile for me for the first time. And I'm sure of Rika-chan's story. Takano-san holds an indescribable sadness within her. If someone approached her pretending to understand, she might just fall for it. Because of my position, anything I say to her will only hurt her more, probably. Sometimes words can harm people no matter how they're used. The fact that I still spoke up showed how little experience I had in life. We could, at least, give the research that you like to pursue a little more of our future budget. Especially another 3 years from them, at least. So we can give those 3 years our best. It was all a slip. Even as I spoke, I started to regret trying to say anything.
I appreciate the sentiment. But it's even harder to watch someone fall ill and waste away over 3 long years.
If I remember right, Dr. Takano came down with acute dementia. He was to commit suicide while his mind was still functional out of despair, and has an ability to continue his research further. My verbal slip made me remember a painful memory, and hurt her even more.
Went into a coma. I had to make a decision as to whether to turn off his life support or not. Hey, Dr. Urie. If you were the doctor in charge of that patient, who would you have pull the plug? You wouldn't pull the plug yourself, would you?
Takano-san asked me that as if it was a normal question. I was expecting to hear one answer. If I was put into that position, when the time came, I'd probably let his remaining family do it.
That's what I thought. There's no way someone wouldn't be there for their family's final moments. So I will be here for the final moments of the Hinamizawa syndrome. No matter what.
What did she mean by this? Oh, fuck. Someone knocked on the door and heard the voice of one of the other staff members.
Director, afternoon shifts are beginning. Please get ready.
Oh, okay. I'll be right there.
I'll clean up. Why don't you go? Lots of elderly people are waiting to chit-chat with you.
Takano-san laughed, but I know the laugh was trying to conceal her anguish. I'm not close to her personally, but she is my partner here at the clinic. I've been trying to avoid getting close to her, but maybe that was a mistake. If I listened to her more, maybe I could have eased her pain a little. But it's too late. Tomotaki-san is conducting an investigation to prove her innocence. Is she guilty or not? Either way, her heartache remains. After Irie left, Takano-san sat down on the sofa again and stared at nothing for a while. Then she got up and picked up the phone on the desk.
This is Takano. Okanogi there. It's me. I was going to ask you to start on the 20th. Please begin observing R today instead. What difference does it make? Are you going to tell me it's too hot to start today? Yes, please do. I only have 5 days. I'd better be careful. Careful, but more than careful, okay? Yeah, right.
Yo! Okay. Goodbye.
Okanogi put down the phone and sighed. Let's try to do whatever Takano wants. He couldn't help but complain about getting such an order on such an extremely hot day.
Shit's popping off, yo!
Of course, if he complained, Takano would spit back twice as much reproach. Okanogi was sitting in the office of the Okanogi Gardeners, a dummy company. As it happened, they regularly did gardening in Hinamizawa. If only so that nobody would get suspicious to see their uniforms and van around.
Good grief. I give up. Call a Nightingale and Skylark. Their vacations are cancelled. The princess has given us the order to start observing R today. We'll have to move the schedule up by 3 days. The first day was Heron, right? Go with a group of 4, including the 1 telephone observer, 1 telephone backup, 1 resident lookout, and 1 resident's backup. Heron later, you'll be at the command post. Also, we're stepping up our sabotage of the telephone station too. That would have been Nightingale's job, but it'd take a whole day for him to get here. So we'll use Phoenix instead. Phoenix 7, gather up a construction team and finish by tonight. Can you do it?
Who wants to be
Of course.
Oh, there we go.
My men are well trained.
Nicely done.
None of those are different from regular battle unit. Our technical squad.
Wait, wasn't I? Oh,
from the specialists in different fields of espionage.
wasn't I in the military, guys?
I mean, yeah, but there's like a bunch of different Phoenixes and
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not gonna say all of them. Yeah.
They're
That
corporate
makes
operations
sense.
for sabotaging telephone stations like Okanoki just did. Ordered. Ones are wiretapping, intelligence gathering, information manipulation, establishing networks in public institutions, and many others in various specialized fields. They belong to self-defense force. Some are from the fire department, and some are from police departments. Some are from civil engineers. Of course, there's some experts in combat as well. Okanogi is one of those combat experts. Didn't expect too much just from one of the engineers. When they all had gone through the same basic training, what they were capable of was child's play compared to what an expert can do. Okanogi is the leader of a unit made up mostly of members who can't even do 100 push-ups. Really, that was the only complaint he had. Rather than been put in charge of the Bloodhounds, somehow became the leader of this strange unit, because of his cautious yet courageous personality. Since combat was his expertise, Okanogi wished deeply for combat. During the kidnapping incident 5 years ago, the plan was for the resisting criminals to leave the hostage behind on the scene after the police stormed in. He'd recalled the extremely frustrating memory of combat with that plainclothes officer. That fat old man was acting so arrogantly. He could have taken him within a matter of seconds. He could have just broken his neck. Jelly, if you don't stop doing that, I'm going to take away your reader's privilege for the rest of this game. He could have turned him around. And snap! It would have been so easy for him. Remember the young policeman, too. He shot him in the shoulder, but he could have shot at his ear. Told to go easy on him, so that was the best he could do. Thought of firing a second shot, but there just wasn't time. The last shot he fired was the reluctant one. Okanogi couldn't believe such a pathetic battle was his last combat job. Regardless, he needed to train so that he was ready at any time. Now the operation had begun, he had been hoping there would only be a battle for him to fight. He didn't even need to fire a shot. He didn't need to punch anyone. All Okanogi wanted was a battle that satisfied his pride. Nothing more. Random mountain dog, go.
Yes, one moment, please. Commander, there's a phone call for you. I don't know if it's from the commander or the president, though.
Those are the president of Okanogi Gardeners. Because other members of the mountain dogs often call him that.
Just a minute, I'll get my accent back. Aha! And the what? Really? How about that, huh? And who is it anyway?
It's a woman. Says her name is Nomura. Asking for President Okanogi.
Then that's for the commander. I'll take it in my office. Please transfer it over. It's popping up!
What?
Rattle, crash, rattle.
Fuck, who's speaking?
I heard a noise.
I imagine Okanogi.
I heard a noise, which sounded like many buckets crashing down. It's probably a noise.
Nope.
Oh wait.
It's Akasaka. I heard a noise from one of Satoko-chan's traps. Probably noise from. Oh fuck. I heard a noise sounded like many buckets crashing down. Probably noise from Satoko-chan's traps. Going to her trap map, and when you go near the wiretapping shack, will set up a trap that makes a loud noise. Must have been it just now. Got around the shack last night before the girls left. The shack is very secluded. It's located in a blind spot where no one's likely to go. This noise just means something important. Started their observation of Rika-chan. Tell them to notice the girls aren't home. We'll definitely call and come by to confirm they're here. Let's make sure that they think the girls are sick in bed and they don't hear the phone or the doorbell. Curtains are closed so they can't see what's inside the house. But to be certain, their beds stuff to make it look like they're sleeping. Yeah. However, I had to be even more careful from now on. Sheldon knows that I'm staying here. For that matter, I had to make sure I could act when something happens. The phone rang suddenly. Just as I expected. Calling to see if anyone's home. Or whether they didn't go to school, so they're probably assuming that they're home, sick in bed. I'm sure they probably want proof of that. The phone rang for a long time. They're convinced there was indeed a call from the Mountain Dogs. There's no answer on the phone. Next up would be to come by the house. There'd be a mailman or a neighbor and knock on the door. They don't even need an answer. They don't even need to answer it. Those two stick to answer the phone. They won't even notice a knock on the door either. Increased housemaid means a higher risk of discovery. But on the other hand, the supposed enemy is closing in on us. Actually better for me, since I could measure the severity of the situation. Besides, Irie is our ally. He already knows that Rika-chan is somewhere else. I was supposed to tell them that he came by because he heard Rika-chan and Satoko-chan miss school. Two of them are in bed and should be left alone for a while. So say that. They won't doubt Irie. They'll believe him. Call this an advanced level of mutual deceit. Believe that they're deceiving Irie, but in reality, Irie is deceiving them. They're professionals. We're a bunch of amateurs. Well, not me at least. Actually, maybe I'm not an exception. I don't know what they've got until I come face to face with them. Our conditions aren't even. We're leading by a tiny bit because we made the first move. Once that's gone, we don't stand a chance. I promised Rika-chan that I trusted her unconditionally. But even without proof, I'm ready to fight. But I can't beat this conspiracy by myself. And to gain help from the others, Tomitake has to find proof. Tomitake is in charge of our first attack. He's in the most danger, too. Understandable that Rika-chan kept warning him to be very careful. He started his investigation as early as last night. That's the reason why they've begun observing Rika-chan. I can only pray for his safety, and the success of the investigation. I heard a voice. Irie had arrived. Satoko-chan, Rika-chan, I'm here to give you an examination. I heard footsteps coming up the stairs and a quiet knock. I'm alone, don't worry. You have to keep it down. This house is already under observation. I let Irie in and closed the door quickly. How are you? Must be getting hot in here since you can't open the windows, huh? I got something for you. He handed me a plastic bag. Contained ice cream, cans of juice, some snacks, and even beer. Well, this obviously isn't for Rika-chan. He's being a little careless. But I am grateful. So how is everything? Oh, fuck. So how is everything? I heard noise from the wiretapping shack earlier. The phone rang for a long time shortly afterwards. So they found that the girls missed school today and they called to check. Did I ask you to come in and check on Rika-chan? Yes. Takano-san told me to go check since they missed school and haven't come by the clinic. I knew it. Do you think that she's suspicious about their absence? No. Nothing to do with the Tomitake-san starting his investigation. Even if it doesn't, this may give him a chance to find out something. Either way, it's already begun, hasn't it? Yeah, more than likely. I don't know if our enemies are Takano and the Mountain Dogs. Somebody else. Either way, that's someone sort of take action. I can't help but think of a series of mysterious deaths. The first 2 years are just coincidences. Starting with the third, I think Takano-san had become intrigued, but expecting something to happen on the night of the Watanagashi. Watanagashi is the day after tomorrow. Perfect opportunity for them to do something. Same for Rika-chan in the 5th year running. This Takano is a frightening woman. What Rika-chan said about Takano-san, I think it's all true. Fuck. Yeah. She was adopted by Dr. Takano, the one who discovered Hinamizawa syndrome. The same pronunciation, huh? I see. To her, continuing the research of the syndrome was like a promise she made to her beloved grandfather. As the project will be terminated, it's almost like they're spitting on his grave. That's exactly what Rika-chan said, isn't it? Yes. Also, Takano-san said something else. She compared a dying patient in a coma to a project that's going to end in 3 years. The family members have the right to turn off the switch of the life support machine. The project's being terminated anyway. Mio Takano, who considers herself a family member of the late Dr. Takano, should be the one to terminate it. Yes. I think that's what she meant. We're gathering the circumstantial evidence we need. Takano is, in fact, our enemy. Yuri had been reluctant to help except it yesterday, but now he believes what Rika-chan said is true. We need Tomitake-san to find some proof that shows Takano-san is planning something. We can call a subjugation squad to arrest all those involved. Takano has the mountain dogs working for her. The squad can down even them? Yes. I don't know anything about them, but there's another unit called the Bloodhounds, and they're a combat unit deployed in case of a true emergency. The mountain dogs are more of an intelligence unit for covert operations. They'll likely be far outmatched. This subjugation squad was organized by to counter the off chance of a rebellion by the Secret Research Institute. It must be quite powerful. So we seeing our conditions for victory is summoning these bloodhounds in Hinamizawa. Oh, fuck. That would be correct. However, my one concern is the emergency manual contains passages authorizing the massacres of the village to preserve secrecy. Or that even if the bloodhounds are brought in, they'll destroy all evidence, including the village itself, which wouldn't be any different. No, there wouldn't. If the enemy's intended to trigger the execution of the emergency manual, that doesn't make sense. If this conspiracy is caused by faction infighting, then the Ares Institute clients will want to resolve the conflict quietly.
Sorry.
Should array the enemies and settle everything within the village are still confused at what's going on. I know this because I've done similar jobs myself. The pass are like a gale and complete the operation swiftly. Any capable of pulling that off against the mountain dogs must be very powerful. I'll just have to wait until we hear from Tomitake-san. Yeah. It'll be a battle of endurance. So lights up, it'll become a blitzkrieg. This will be a hard battle with rapid shifts in pace. Reassuring to us that you're in the enemy's midst. At the same time, you're in a very vulnerable position. Please don't let your guard down. When we decided to be Rika-chan's allies, we became their enemies. I understand. The phone at the house is, of course, being wiretapped. You had to come over to communicate with me. It won't work in an emergency. A telephone's still better in this case. For that instance... I put together a memo for Irie. There's a method of communicating over a phone that's been bugged. Well, I came up with that out of necessity once. What is this? A method for calling me in case of an emergency. Let's sure the enemy doesn't get a hold of it. You're in danger. Swallow it. The phone's being tapped, so how can we make a call? The phone, even if you don't say anything, might get suspicious. We can communicate without me even picking up the phone. A little trick to it, but we can at least send across what's important. You're the only one who can do it. You'll be the first person who notices the enemy's movements. Alright. And how do I do it? It's in the memo. Let me explain briefly. We'll use the ringtone. When we make a call, normally you won't let the phone ring over a minute. So that's to communicate. If the phone rings for a minute, that means it's dangerous. Leave. Rings for a minute and a half, it means it's an emergency. Head to the Sonozaki residence. The difference is in those 30 seconds. The moment for either paid message you send. Please memorize these two at least. My life depends on it. The message that lets me know my life is in danger is the shorter call. If it's too short, I'll get confused with the regular phone calls. That's why they single me. They hang up the phone within 3 seconds first, then place the emergency call. There's why such a large difference of time to make sure that there's no misunderstanding. Tones of the caller hears the rings the receiver sends out a little different. I don't want the little difference to change the message, which is why they had to be 30 seconds apart. A short ring first, and 1 minute means run. A minute and a half means to head to where Rika-chan is. Okay, I got it. It's a little troublesome, I know, but this is just for emergencies. Please remember it. Yes, I understand. When danger strikes, I'll handle communications. Also, one more signal I want you to remember. It's not a very good code, but don't forget it just the same. Yeah. For this one, you don't need to do one short ring. Let the phone ring for over 3 minutes. But it's probably best to just place the call and leave it. What does that mean? Contact is in danger. Further contact impossible. So that's... tell you that... I'm in danger then. Yeah. case of emergency, call this house. Leave the phone on the hook, and then leave the phone off the hook, and then hide somewhere safe. Even so, try to anticipate when you yourself will be in danger. There's a chance to call while you're thinking, I'm still fine, or I'm probably fine. If you sense something odd, that's an emergency. Knowing the seriousness of the conspiracy, they won't hesitate to kill us. Please be very careful. I understand. But if that happens, what are you going to do? Depends on the situation, but I'll probably leave this house. If you are in danger, then Rika-chan is in danger too. Head to the Sonozaki residence and join Rika-chan. It's only the worst case scenario. I'm not sure if it'll actually happen, so don't be nervous. Relax, okay? But also be very careful, right? That's right. Irie nodded deeply. It's almost time. Something is about to happen.
And we're ending it there, I imagine.
Yep, we're stopping.
Yeah, I think we're gonna stop there. I can clearly tell we're just getting fucking tired.
Yeah.
I can tell that.